Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. If you like The Mike Wagner Show and you want to make your own podcast, well, let me tell you about Anchor. First of all, it's free. Secondly, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. You can also add any song from Spotify directly to your episodes. The possibilities are endless. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. You can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. It's time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries with 2 strangers and 1 target where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and is even loved by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Order Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, now available at Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. And heard worldwide on Geo7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise on Amazon under the Mike Wagner Show podcast. Coming soon to the MikeWagnerShow.com. T-shirts, hoodies, throw pillows, pop sockets, and more. And for more great gift ideas, including phone cases and hoodies and a lot more, tank tops, go to Amazon.com/me, check out his great books. Make sure you order today, and make sure you don't forget to support the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, also on Anchor FM, as well as PayPal, and make sure you do it today. We're here with a wonderful author who is not only the author of quite a number of books, including his latest, Harboring Happiness, 100 Ways to Be Happy, courtesy of Beacon Publishing. He also teaches sociology at San Jose State and organized hands-on Thailand program. And he has some great works as well, too. He also authored Brook's book, Eating the Earth, Sweet Nothings, and he's also editing Justice in the Kitchen. And he's just got a great story to tell. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios somewhere in Northern California, the very, very multi-talented sociologist, the teacher, and he's also professor, organizer, and author of Harboring Happiness from Beacon Publishing, Dan Brook. Dan, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Nice to meet you.
Well, it's nice to meet you as well, too. And you've got a fascinating story. And now you're an author, courtesy of Beacon Publishing, with Harboring Happiness, 100 Ways to Be Happy. You also got several other books. You also teach sociology at San Jose State. You also organize the Hands-on Thailand program and a lot more. And you also basically just welcome a lot of communication from a lot of people, and you're very open. And before we get into all that, Dan, tell us how I first got started.
How I got started?
Yes.
Well, I was born on the night of a full moon. Ooh. On the first night of Passover. That's how I got started. It was already an auspicious beginning, wasn't it?
That's very unique. I like that.
And it was a lunar eclipse.
Oh my goodness.
Later. Yeah.
You're probably like, let me out. I want to see the lunar eclipse. Let me out.
There's so much to do in the world, of course. I mean, the womb is great and all, but there's a lot doing on this planet.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm eager to do it.
Yes, it is, certainly. And I love hearing more about how you first got started, where you grew up, and getting into teaching and everything else. It's amazing.
I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, the old country, and I never imagined I would be a teacher. I actually wanted to be a garbage man, and I still aspire to that because, well, you get to work with garbage, you get to be outdoors, you get to ride on a truck. I mean, I still think I might have made the wrong decision. But a lot of people in my family were teachers and are teachers. And so I think it was part of my culture. And I love the idea of continually learning, even though I messed around a lot in school. Mm-hmm. It's great to be around young people, whether you're young or old. And I love helping people, and it's something I still love doing. I love helping people. I love spreading awareness. I think more people should be happy, so I decided to write about happiness.
That's quite interesting. We'll talk more about that. And what was that one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your life?
I can't pinpoint one moment. There's lots of moments. There's so many people in my family who inspired me. There's so many teachers who inspired me. There's so much really need in the world that also inspired me. There's always people who need to learn things. There's people who need to be healed, happier. We're social beings, and so we need each other fundamentally. And so however it is we do that, that's important, and that always spoke to me.
Mm-hmm. And also, too, you also teach sociology at San Jose State, and tell us how long you've been doing that, and what inspired you to get into sociology.
So I've been teaching at San Jose since 2005, and I was teaching at other schools for some years before that. I actually started off in political science, and I still love politics. And I was teaching political science, American politics, at another school for a good number, about 10 years or so. Mm-hmm. But I switched into sociology. It allows me to do political things, environmental things, but in a broader context, because I can look at the causes and consequences for human beings. And I can look at the social structures that we create, and then also examine how those systems that we create, including the internet and Zoom and podcasts and everything else, and then how those social things affect us in turn. So I find that fascinating. It's like a societal version of psychology. And that's where my heart is.
That's interesting, having sociology and social media, which makes a lot more sense. And in terms of the political science as well, too, how would you describe the current state of politics, especially with our current administration?
Oh, politics is always a messy business. I love being outside of it and criticizing it from the outside, because I know if I was on the inside, I'd be criticizing myself too.
Like many of us.
I think in some ways, Biden is infinitely better than Trump. In some ways, unfortunately, he's similar. And whoever it is, there's always a lot of room for improvement. Ultimately, government should serve the common needs of people. People shouldn't have to serve government. People shouldn't have to serve corporations. People shouldn't have to serve ideologies or organizations or theologies and religions. All of those things that we created and our economy should all serve the needs of human beings. And we have more than enough in the world to take care of everybody.
And it sounds like it too. And and you also had taught at a number of schools. Describe your journey from Brooklyn all the way over to San Jose State with some stops in between.
Well, yeah, Brooklyn inspired me in a lot of ways, like it inspired a lot of people. So many great people came out of Brooklyn, and it wasn't just Brooklyn. It was my Jewish heritage as well, of course. So Brooklyn and spending a lot of time in Manhattan as well, and going to school at Clark University in Worcester, Massachusetts. And my brother and his family lived just outside of Boston in Massachusetts. And that was great. And I came back and I taught English as a foreign language in New York City to elementary school kids. And that was fascinating. I had kids from maybe 20 different countries.
Wow.
Different levels of English proficiency. It was an underfunded school, so I didn't have enough of any one textbook for all the kids. At certain points in the year, because I had kids coming in throughout the year, they didn't just start in the beginning. Whenever they came to this country, they were enrolled in the school. And
wow.
So that means that a couple of points, I didn't have enough chairs for all of my students. And with the other teachers, we sort of played an unspoken game. Oh, lunch hour, and they were out of their classroom. I stole a chair, so I'd have enough chairs for all of my students, knowing that one of those chairs was going to be stolen from me at a certain point when they needed it. But you know what? You do what you can with what you have, wherever you are, whenever it is, and that's okay too.
And he also ventured over to San Jose as well too, to take up some teaching, and just tell us how you got approached about it.
Well, sure. So I taught at a lot of places. I mean, after New York, I went to Bangkok and I taught English for a year. And that was an amazing experience, teaching young professionals who mostly wanted to study in the United States and then go back home to beautiful Thailand. I taught, after getting my degree, I taught at UC Davis and then UC Berkeley for a few years each. And even San Francisco State. I taught preschool as well. And then,
wow.
It's just, sort of like the luck of, it's always often a combination of luck and skill. I'm very perseverant. I'm not a fan of quitting. So, I even applied when there wasn't openings. I talked to people at places, even if I got rejected. So I wound up getting a job, at San Jose State in 2005. And how lucky I was, right? Because it's a great place. It's a beautiful place. It's a great school. In fact, just last year, Money Magazine rated San Jose State the #1 most transformative university in the country.
Really? #1 transformative. That's amazing. Wow.
Partly because of things like service learning opportunities and study abroad, including my hands-on Thailand. In some ways, it's a typical school. In some ways, it's unique and amazing.
And it does sound amazing. You also got some amazing books involving with your experiences in Thailand, harboring happiness, a lot more. And Brook's book, we'll talk more about those in just a minute, especially a new one from Beacon Publishing. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960 or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mian Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mian Molson-Zia, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing by Mian Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forge Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mian Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. And heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. Check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise on Amazon and coming soon to the MikeWagnerShow.com, including t-shirts, hoodies, pop sockets, and more. And also phone cases coming as well, too. And don't forget to check out the gift store on Amazon.com/Mian Molson-Zia, including great books like this one. And make sure you check out today. And don't forget to support the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Also support us on Anchor FM and PayPal, and make sure you do it today. We're here with author Dan Brook of Beacon Publishing with his new book, Harboring Happiness, 101 Ways to Be Happy, and also teaches sociology over at San Jose State. And before we talk about your book, Harboring Happiness and more from Beacon Publishing, you also organized the Hands-on Thailand program, and that's an amazing program to be done. And tell us more about that.
It really is an amazing program. So it was several years ago that I learned it was even possible to do it at my school. And as soon as I learned that it was possible, I set it up. So I bring students, between 12 and 16 students per year, on this really amazing service learning, study abroad, 3-week program in Chiang Mai, Thailand, which is a northern city in Thailand. And Thailand's a really amazing country. And then Chiang Mai is a particularly amazing city within an amazing country. And we don't just go as tourists, although we do some of that because it's fun and it's beautiful. But the students also join local nonprofit organizations to help out on a grassroots level. And so they're teaching novice monks, or they're helping out with organic agriculture, or editing papers through the Social Science Institute at Chiang Mai University.
Oh, wow.
Working at a boarding school for disadvantaged youth. They're doing great stuff, and not, doing something that's meaningful, doing something that's helpful, doing things on a sort of a horizontal level, if you will, working with Thai people as well as other foreigners to make a positive difference in the world. Mm-hmm. And that actually ties in with the happiness book too, because when you help out other people, that's one thing. And when you get new experiences that are different and fun, those are things that lead to happiness.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like it too. And how do you compare Thailand to the United States?
Well, it's pretty different in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to say. I mean, it's a poorer country. It's a much more traditional country. It's 90-something% Buddhist. Has its own Thai language. Has its own amazing food. It's a much more homogenous country as well. And it's a tropical country. So lots of differences, but wonderful ones. It's a very open, welcoming country. It's a beautiful country in terms of natural beauty. It's beautiful in terms of built beauty, their temples and their homes. And the people, generally speaking, are so kind. It's called the land of smiles. People are kind, people are generous, people are happy. And I learned, one of the things I learned in Thailand is that happiness is not dependent on material things. Many people who don't have much in terms of money, in terms of things, in terms of possessions, sometimes even in terms of stable housing. They don't have much in terms of transportation for themselves. And yet, some very, very happy people on a regular basis.
And it sounds like you got some great happy people, and you're happy yourself too. And of course, you got some really amazing books. You got Brook's book. You got Eating the Earth, which I find very interesting. Also, Sweet Nothings, and you're currently editing Justice in the Kitchen. And tell us more about those books.
I did. Well, so Sweet Nothings, a lot of, I should say, and you see I have a lot of projects, and there's also a lot more in the pipeline. I like doing a lot of things, and therefore I tend to do them slowly over time. So Sweet Nothings I was working on for a long time. I love haiku, and I've been writing haiku for at least a couple of decades, and I've written well over 5,000 haiku.
Wow.
So I, years ago, I decided I collected haiku on the theme of the concept of nothing and nothingness. So the book Sweet Nothings is about the nature of haiku. So it gets into what haiku is and what it does and the structure of it a little bit. And it also gets into the concept of nothing and how within nothing, there is everything. So the potential is there. So haiku is small poetry. It's very portable poetry. And nothing is always available to us. And there's such great peace and happiness in nothing.
That does sound amazing. I feel happy about it. And maybe give us a poem or two in haiku from your book.
You know, unlike you, I see that you have an amazing memory. I have a very poor memory. And so I don't have a copy with me, and I can't even conjure it.
Or like, say, if you were to come up with something, maybe just a really short one or something, if you can come up. If not, it's okay. So.
Yeah, I think I'll pass on that, actually. One of the things I like about writing, and it's why I'm such a prolific writing, it's a way for me to outsource the thoughts in my brain, so I don't have to keep it in my head anymore. Until I publish it, it rattles around in there. Once I publish it, now it's out there, and it's for you to do whatever you want with it, and for readers to do what they want with it. It's not mine anymore. I don't know.
Right, exactly. And of course, you also got Brook's book and also Eating the Earth, which in various languages. And so can you just tell us more about that?
Sure. So Brook's book and some other books that I have, I actually, I recently made free. There was a free ebooks and available. And Brook's book, it started out sort of as a joke, but I started accumulating just pithy wisdom from my experience, because I think about things a lot. Maybe it's because I'm a thoughtful person, also because I'm a sociologist. So I think about some common things. I think about uncommon things. The very first thing in Brook's book was what I call Brook's Law. And Brook's Law is that it basically says the stronger the argument you make, the weaker the response from other people. And sometimes that response is so weak that it's an insult. Sometimes the response is so weak that it's just silence and you don't actually get a response, although silence is a form of a response. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, and I have it on, I don't know how many, well over 100, I never counted, I'm not into that, but well over 100 different topics, maybe 200 for all I know. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, then Brook's book would be for you.
Okay.
Eating the Earth is another thing that I've been working on for years. I've been vegetarian since 1983. And so Eating the Earth is subtitled The Truth About What We Eat. And it's basically about the problems with eating meat and other animal products and the benefit of eating plant-based foods. And the short story is, this is all evidence-based. It's better for our health. It's better for our physical health. It's better for our spiritual health. It's better for public health in terms of public diseases, including pandemics. it's better for our environment, and it's of course better for the animals.
Mhm.
So I talk about that, and it's resonated with people. So it's actually already been published, and it's been translated into Spanish, Italian, Chinese, Korean, Thai. There's a Mongolian edition coming out soon. The Polish translation was just finished. I need to get the cover made.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty exciting. So it's reaching a lot of people, which is gratifying.
And it does sound exciting. And where can we find those books at?
Books like that, Brook's book and Eating the Earth, are on Smashwords, which is an independent self-publishing ebook site, very user-friendly. And all of my books on Smashwords. So if you Google Smashwords and Dan Brook, maybe in the title, and Brook's book or Eating the Earth, you'll find it very easily. And you can download it in any one of multiple formats for free and read it at your leisure and read it in bits and pieces, because you don't have to read it from beginning to end. If you just pick up a page or one section, even that will benefit you. In fact, I challenge you just to read one small section, one page, almost at random if you want, from any of those books. That's the way you test it. The Dalai Lama talks that way. He says, test it for yourself, because don't take anything on faith, right? We don't have to believe anything. Test it for yourself. And if it works for you, then absorb it, take it in, do more of it. If it doesn't work for you, that's it. Discard it, move on, and find something else that works for you. It's not like I'm the answer, I have the answer. I think I have a lot of answers, but it doesn't mean it's the answer for you. I found a lot of the answers for me, and that's okay.
Exactly. And of course, we will accept the challenge, by the way. And we'll talk about your new book, Harboring Happiness, 100 Ways to Be Happy, from Beacon Publishing. We'll get to that in just 1 minute with Dan Brook. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosensia of Missing, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. We'll be back with author Dan Brook of Harboring Happiness, 101 Ways to Be Happy, from Beacon Publishing, after this time out.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People, based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshazia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple, and more. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, where The Mike Wagner Show interviews great guests, cool conversation, lots of laughs, coffee, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today.
Hey, this is Ray Powers. And if there's one thing you can count on in these unpredictable times, it's that you're in good hands getting some great radio, courtesy of The Mike Wagner Show.
We're back with author Dan Brook of Beacon Publishing with his latest book, Harboring Happiness, 101 Ways to Be Happy, here on the Mike Wagner Show. And tell us more about the book, Harboring Happiness, and once again, what inspired you to write it, Dan?
Yeah, so Harboring Happiness, you know, now that I think about it, I should have called it Only 101 Ways, because there must be more. There must be more.
Feel free to change if you like. It's your book. Feel free.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe on a certain level, happiness comes more naturally to me than others, but I also know there's ways of working on it. Like any other skill, we can improve it. And I see so many people are unhappy in a world where happiness is massive abundance and it's a renewable resource. It never runs out. And the more we share happiness, the more we have it for ourselves and the more we give it to others. So it's sad when we sad. And that's not to say that there isn't time for other emotions. Of course there is. There's times to be sad and there's times to be even angry perhaps, although I've minimized that so much.
Just like many of us. Okay. All right, Dan, you still with us?
Yes, it froze for a bit. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. And we're so happy about it. And you can just continue. And if you just maybe give us just a few ways or a couple to be happy from the book, feel free to do so.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm really grateful to be talking to you today. And it turns out that gratitude is a scientifically backed way to be more happy. So no matter what's going on, because you could be grateful for really big things, and I am. I'm grateful to be alive. Mm-hmm. I'm grateful to have a laptop computer and the Zoom app that we're using now to communicate. Mm-hmm. I'm grateful that it's a warm, sunny day today. I'm grateful that I live in Northern California. I'm grateful that I teach at San Jose State University. But also I saw a leaf today. I was grateful to be able to see that leaf. It had such natural beauty to it. I don't know if other people are going to notice it or not. It doesn't matter. I noticed it. It made me happy. Now I'm mentioning it to you. So I'm savoring that memory of seeing the leaf. That's also a technique of happiness. And then I'm not only savoring it, I'm talking to you about it. I'm talking to others about it. That's another way to be happy. So thank you for that question.
Yeah, no problem. You know what? I can feel that leaf about to come into my hand right now, although it is taking its sweet time, going from California over to where I'm at. It's like, well, I'm sure it's going to take its time, probably blowing around by now, but at least we do have a leaf.
But it's always available to you.
Mm-hmm. That is exactly.
Of course, we could always, in all seriousness, not just leaves or anything else, we could always imagine things in our mind. Mm-hmm. So imagine your leaf, quote unquote. Imagine your happy place. Imagine a baby, a dog, a kitten. Imagine being on the beach. Imagine the last time you were laughing and swimming. Imagine the last time you heard your favorite song or saw a funny movie. We could do those things too. It doesn't have to be happening in the moment. And being happy doesn't mean that there isn't things to be sad about. It doesn't mean that there aren't injustices in the world. There are too many injustices in the world. And it could even make you happy to address those injustices. Mm-hmm. If you volunteer your time, either in direct service or in advocacy for a better world, that can lead to happiness. But even while those things are going on, with the chaos of the world in a lot of ways, and still during a pandemic, we can still be happy. Because it doesn't make those things worse. Potentially, it makes them better. And it makes us better. And if we make ourselves happier, we're in society. So then that makes society happier as well. And if someone sees you smile, they're more likely to smile. Remember, we're social beings. We react to each other. Mm-hmm. And then when you see them smiling, even if you don't know if you're smiling or not, you're more likely to smile. Someone else sees that and they're more likely to smile. It's okay to build happiness in this world. Mm-hmm. I give everyone permission to be happier.
And yes, I'm smiling already too. It's like, I'm feeling it, Dan. I'm feeling it. It's the one song that's coming to mind right now. The world smiles and smiles at you. Louis Prima. That's what makes me think of it. You smile and the smile whirls with you. It's something like that. It's in my head. I can't get the exact title, but that's what you think of. It's like, what was it? The smile whirl at you, Louis Prima. I'm sure it'll come later on too after we're done with the broadcast. But I can hear it in my head.
I do meditation each Wednesday night with Rick Hansen. Dr. Rick Hansen is a therapist. He's a meditation leader. He's a great author. And I'm reminded of a line from him. He says, no matter what is happening in the world around us, no matter what the situation we're stuck in, no matter how anguished we are for others, no matter how hopeless it seems and helpless we feel, we can always turn to joy, claim it, and welcome it. So scientists say the latest estimates are maybe 40% of our happiness might be genetically related. Mm-hmm. Or maybe 50%, maybe 10% is related to circumstances, which is a lot less than people typically think. Mm-hmm. And then that means 40 or perhaps 50%, give or take, is related to what we do and what we think and how we react. Mm-hmm. And we can react however we want. If you want to hear an extreme example, I'm thinking of Viktor Frankl. He was a psychiatrist in Austria, and being a Jewish psychiatrist, he was rounded up by the Nazis during World War II, and he was brought to a death camp. Mm-hmm. He found out that his wife had been killed. Amazing tragedy. This is so painful. And they took away everything, right? He didn't have his home. He didn't have his office and his books and his pens. He didn't have his clothes and his friends and his patients. He didn't have his neighborhood. He wore a uniform as he was assigned. His hair was shaved. He had a tattoo on his arm, and you're not supposed to, Nazi prisoners weren't supposed to use their names. They were supposed to just use their numbers. All and he also knew he could be killed at any time as he saw people around him being killed. But what he realized is that no matter what happens to him, no matter what the Nazis do and impose upon him, they can't change the way he thinks, he wants to think, and how he feels if he wants to feel that way. So if he wanted to think about playing chess or doing math or a violin concerto, and if he wanted to be happy and generous and decide to share the little bit of stale bread with someone who needed it more than him, then he would do so. And he did. And, he wound up surviving, thankfully, and writing books like Man's Search for Meaning. And he talks about these things. Now, I hope and assume that none of us will ever be in as dire of a situation as Viktor Frankl was. And so if Viktor Frankl can do it in a Nazi death camp, surely we can manage to find the techniques and to feel good about ourselves. And not only to have compassion for other people, to literally or figuratively share our bread with others, but also to have self-compassion, right? Share your bread and your good thoughts and your good feelings and your compliments with yourself as well. We can all do that.
That is very amazing. I love that advice, and that's a great story. And of course, besides Dr. Rick Hansen, you talk about his authors, one of your favorites, and who are some other favorite authors growing up? Forgot to ask you that earlier.
Again, this is my my bad memory, perhaps. I don't know. I mean, I loved a lot of things growing up. I loved when my grandparents would read stories to me at night, and sometimes I wanted to hear these stories so much, and they must have gotten so tired of reading them that they would skip portions, and I'd be, I think you missed something there. I want the whole story.
Hey, that's a good trick, kids, if you want to do that.
I know, right? As an adult, I love writers like Rebecca Solnit, who so brilliantly mixes natural history and social commentary with personal autobiography. Rebecca Solnit is an amazing writer and an amazing person. I love anything that Howard Zinn writes. He famously wrote A People's History of the United States, but other books as well. Truthfully, I like anything that's really well written. A friend of mine years ago got me a subscription to Harper's Magazine, and we were talking one time, and he knows I'm busy with other things, so he knew I wasn't reading everything, and he goes, "You don't have to read everything," and that's great. It's a nice, nice thing to do to someone too. We were talking about, I noticed there was an article about old farm tools. Okay, I'm a city boy. I like politics, economics, the environment. I'm not really into old farm tools. And he said, well, you don't have to read it at all, but if you want to, just read the first couple of paragraphs and then don't read the article. I said, oh, that's fair. I'll just read the couple. it was so well written that it sucked me in, because it was about old farm tools, but it was connected to the farm situation in America and the aging of farmers, and it connected it to globalization and where other things are grown and how increasingly tools are being made in countries like China, and on and on. And it was like so fascinating. So if something is written well, I have my preferences about subjects, but I'll read anything that's written well. And as a writer, okay, I don't know if I always do it, but I strive to try to write well, so that I can, I know that it's a service industry. And if I'm writing something, I want you to enjoy it. No matter what the topic, even if it's a deadly serious topic, it should be fun. Enjoy it.
And it is fun too, and I love your book. I want to read it too, from Beacon Publishing, Harboring Happiness: 101 Ways to Be Happy. And where can we find your latest book at?
Well, Harboring Happiness is on major booksellers like Amazon and Barnes and Noble, and it's also available through some smaller book publishers, more indie places as well. So that's good. And eventually it's coming out next month, I think May 7th. So eventually it'll be in some bookstores as well. And that's great.
Okay.
It's available for pre-order now. So if you're interested, go get Harboring Happiness. And, one of the things I like about the book is, sure, it has an introduction, all that, but you can poke around anywhere. So you can just randomly open up the book. And maybe that'll be like bibliotherapy to you. You can open it up anywhere, and maybe that's the piece that'll speak to you. And if not, no worries, because it's really short. I made it really bite-sized because I want it to be user-friendly. I want it to be easy. I'm not, especially with a book about happiness, I'm not looking to burden anyone. I'm looking to lighten people's burden. I'm looking to make it easier for them. So poke through. It'll take you maybe each one could be like a minute or two, but some you might want to linger on. Some you realize that's not for me. Move on and discard it. No worries,
And that's amazing as well, too. And I'm going to take a bibliotherapy after this. I think I can use it right now, which is amazing.
Everyone can, me included.
Oh, yes. We're here with author Dan Brook of Beacon Publishing, Harboring Happiness: 101 Ways to Be Happy, and also a sociologist, professor at San Jose State, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Dan, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon.
Thanks so much, Mike.
And keep us up to date. And just a few more things here before we go. We'd love to have you back on. What, or should I say, what can we expect from you in 2021 and beyond, Dan?
Well, I think about all sorts of things, and I love writing, so I have more things coming. In the pipeline is a book called Zero to Infinity: A Numerical Guide to Jewish Wisdom.
Oh, wow.
I also have something coming out related to Diego Rivera and his FBI file. So that'll either be later this year, possibly next year. Eventually, I have a book. It's about impossible things that were believed to be impossible by intelligent and reasonable people, and yet they were very possible because they happened. Impossible things happen all of the time. So in that sense, it reminds us to be humble too. What we think is impossible may not be impossible. So anyway, those are also future things.
And we're certainly looking forward to those, Dan. I'm very excited. And who do you consider your biggest influence in your career, Dan?
The world influences me. It's not even named people. Kids influence me and inspire me a lot, whether I know them well or it's just an ephemeral thing if I just meet them in California or Thailand or anywhere else. So many kids, they're happy-go-lucky. They just want to play. They just want to talk to people. You can meet a kid, they're already, they'll make you a friend instantaneously. That inspires me more than anything else.
That is very nice. And we need more of that these days in terms of children. They need that more. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
I'll take from Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee said, he was speaking about the world for people. He said, absorb what is useful, discard what isn't, and add what is uniquely your own. There's 7.8 or so billion of us, but no one can take your place in the world. We're just like everyone else in a lot of ways, and yet each of us is unique in our own way. So absorb what's useful, discard what's not useful, discard all the trauma, all the pain, discard all the education that wasn't useful, discard all the insults and everything else, discard all the envy and discard the greed and all that, and then add what is uniquely yours into the world. That's one way we become happier for ourselves, and it's one way that we make a better world and make other people happy too.
And that's amazing words from Bruce Lee. I really like that. That was just great. Once again, author Dan Brook of Beacon Publishing with his latest Harboring Happiness, 101 Ways to Be Happy here on the Mike Wagner Show. Dan, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. So keep yourself today. And one more thing. Don't go away yet. Tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your books?
I guess the shortest way is about.me. So about.me/Dan Brook. And that connects to, my resume and other things. That's probably the easiest way. People can write me at brook@brook.com. That's BROOK@BROOK.com. That's fine as well. So any way you reach me is fine. You can Google me and find out as well. You can check out my free ebooks on Smashwords. You can look for Sweet Nothings. You can look for this upcoming Harboring Happiness. Lots of ways to reach me, lots of ways to read me, lots of ways to enjoy life. Find your own path. That's great.
We certainly will do so. Once again, Dan, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely terrific. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep yourself today, and don't forget to keep in touch. And you've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to another step of happiness, maybe not just 101, 102, and beyond.
You're amazing too, Mike. Thank you so much.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionsea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, Custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites, we give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.